That's very interesting that you brought that up because in my studies now, I'm a psychologist by trade, and I have fears inside of me with things that I want to do that I don't know if I'm ready to let people know yet. And I realized that as a creator, people have to hit every sense of the human psyche and being to be great. You have to be able to feel, touch, taste, hear, like everything. That's only four, but everything that has to be experienced with good music. I remember hearing Bloody Waters, and it was the beat that first opened the eardrum. Then I remember about the moth to the flame. Well, who's the moth and who's the flame? And then when you see the visual behind it, it was like a butting of heads, but who's the cause and then who's the effect? You know what I'm saying? And with that experience, that's where the other senses that man doesn't actually feel, like memory, like the out of body, the translucent of colors and sound, that's where that enters in. Because sometimes someone can give you a memory and you'll go in a flashback right back to that place where, when I say music that you can taste, it's not like you can eat the bars, but there's something in you that takes you to another place where it's so lively. The senses in music are the lost child of appreciation. Being that this album is your baby, how do you want the world to view your child, hear your child, and grow with your child from this experience?
Yeah, that's our baby. Our nasty little terror. That's his nickname. Well, I think that Bloody Waters is a season. You know, it's not all that I am. And as an artist, I'm going to evolve and change and want to express myself. I don't know what it will come next, but I want this is what this season was calling for. This season was calling for Bloody Waters. I don't know the next season of my life after we have fame and fortune
and Grammys.
You know, I'm sure, there'll be some other kind of manifestation of that season, but I just I know that with Ip is so creative, I'm so creative, it's gonna always be something that we're gonna do, and whatever it is, it's gonna be great. So our fans will come along on this journey with us. But Bloody Waters is just a season in the life of Gail and Ipkiss. It's just a season. Even though it's great, but it's a season.
You know what? I wanted to tiptoe around this, but I feel I just might as well just jump all the way in. The harshest critic of a person who's a creator is themselves, and fear of letting people in can be something that you critique because you still hold back and you don't want people to know. Stan, how did you critique yourself on this project? Because as the producer, you're not really being vocal, you're being more instrumental in letting people into your creative side. So how did you open up to the point where you're inviting people into a new recess in your mind so they can enjoy the total person that you are through your music?
I have all the confidence in the world in my music. I'm always looking to do new things. I'm always looking to grow and expand. When this project came along, I was more than excited to, do something new, something I never did before.
I think too, with this project, this is the first time you're doing a whole album with one artist. So it's like, I don't know how you're experiencing it, but I know that so many people ask me about him. They're so interested in who he is. So it's like, they want to know who Ip is. They want to know, because he's always kind of been that Superman in the background producer behind these artists. But with this project, he's just as much in the forefront as me. So people want to know, like, my fans be like, so who's Stanley Ipkiss? Like,
because she's mentioning me a lot.
Yeah, so now
And
they're
I
like real
appreciate
interested
that,
about
'cause
him.
It's not many artists that I work with. Oh my God.
You good? No, you good. You good. You good. Good.
You sure?
Yeah, because it's not on camera. You good. Okay.
No, it's not many artists that I work with that, you know, shows as much appreciation as she has. So I appreciate that. I mean, I'm assuming that's what the artist is supposed to do. That's what they used to do back in the day.
You're right. And coming off of what you said, you know, I actually put a post on Facebook 2 days ago, last night, and I said, to all my creators, what do you listen to when you're out of your genre? Because I really want to know, where does your mind go? And for one MC, they said rock, grunge, and all that. And I'm like, that's dope. Okay, so I see why your lyrics are what they are. And for one person, they said reggae. So I'm like, okay. And I know they're very soulful and very cultural. Now, go ahead.
I was going to answer that question, but I didn't have time because it was going to be too long. So I said, I'm going to come back to it, but I forgot to come back to it.
No, that's fine, because when I have to listen to a person's project, I have to be in the mood. I love music, but music isn't as giving as it used to be for me, because a lot of truth is not in music anymore. So like, I can listen to any and everything. I just had a person at my house and they talked about, oh, they like K-pop. I was like, oh, you like Bonnie Pink? They was like, who's that? I'm like, oh, you like, and they're like, who's that? I don't know these people. And I'm like, you really don't know your genre. You're just really experimenting. With that notion, this album is an experimentation and understanding that the heart is bigger than your feelings, that the heart is light incarnate. In understanding that, life has its highs and its lows. What are you giving the people that's on high to believe, and the people that are lows to have faith?
I think that because I kind of know this, because this is what I pray about, that even though the content of my music may be on the surface one thing, I think that people can feel the Spirit of the Lord in my voice.
Okay.
So I can sing fairy tales, but there's still some hope or some kind of that something high in it. I think that people feel, because that's the way I feel when I sing it. So and I think that I have an anointing on my voice where I can sing the ABCs, but it's something about it that uplifts people. So but on another thing, if you listen to the progression of Bloody Waters, you can feel my healing from when I first started the album till now, where we are now. You can feel the strength. You can feel I'm picking myself up. I think our fans are gonna come along with that, you know, because at the end, the grand finale.
Oh yeah?
The grand finale of Bloody Waters is all about victory.
You know what's deep though, but you brought up fairy tales. And I took some notes on fairy tales. And fairy tales, to me, I put the voice of the piano fighting a love clash. If that makes sense.
The voice of the piano fighting
A love clash. That it was voice versus instrumentation. And the song was about self-promotion and self-preservation. How does the singer preserve when she's pouring out her soul and spirit on a track, not knowing what the world would get from it?
Ooh. When we started the album, I wasn't thinking about what people were gonna like. I was making my dream album. I was not thinking about, you know, if people were gonna receive it. I wasn't thinking about, you know, the response that we were gonna get. Those kinds of thoughts started to come later. I really was making it for me. And it was, even though I was making it for me, it still was really hard for me to write those lyrics. It was hard for me to sing those lyrics. And it's hard for me sometimes to perform it. But I do feel rewarded when people receive it. And I love that people can relate to it. And I love that people have tears in their eyes when they listen to the song. So it actually makes me feel like, okay, it's not just me.
They needed it.
Yeah. Like my brother Chops the Savior said, women all over the world are going to thank you for this album. And I said, wow.
That's a heavy burden, though.
Well, you know what? When I look at it the same way I look at it when I started. This was just my truth, and we're healing together. You know?
Okay.